James Coe here with you. Beautiful Tuesday evening. We're taking you all the way to the 10 o'clock hour. Oh, my goodness gracious. We get to see Tarek Skubal pitching for reals. Let's go. I can't wait. Yeah. We got Double P behind the glass.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, pal?
Doing great, man.
How you feeling?
Let's go. Just another day here, right? In the studio. Let's go.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm excited. Again, we get to see Skubal up close and personal here. He's pitching for the first time at Wrigley, which is always fun. Have you ever been to Wrigley, man?
Never have.
Oh,
I know.
You got to go.
I know. I have been to Citizens Bank.
Okay.
That's about the furthest. Well, no, Camden Yards in Baltimore. My mom's from Baltimore, so I go out there.
All right.
So that's pretty much it as far as out of town places. How about you?
No, I've been there. I've been there. At one point when I was younger, I actually tried to get to a few of these ballparks, but never happened because of various things. But that I don't want to get into. But that being said, yeah, I know it sounds more nefarious than it actually is. Really what it comes down to is I was just broke. Okay, that's really what yeah. I needed a job, and I took a job instead of, like, touring all the ballparks. Anyways, whatever. I was broke. But I have been to Wrigley. Wrigley's cool. Wrigley's, it's an experience for sure. But no, we get to see Skubal today, and I don't know, my first impressions of Skubal, I'm not going to lie to you, I mean, they're okay. He's given up a lot of hard hits, and there has been some tremendous defense behind him. And so I don't know where, again, I don't know where we're at here with Skubal, but my first impressions of Skubal in a Dodger uniform, and I know, look, we're talking about a guy who's coming off of back-to-back Cy Young awards, but, I'm not 100% sure where I'm at with him. It's been, I mean, look, one earned run. You look at the earned run, you say, okay, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, I agree, that's pretty good. Like I said, I don't necessarily know if he's been dominant. And I think that's a fair assessment of where what Skubal has put together here, at least on the early going. So, again, we'll keep a close eye on it. There's no question. We'll keep a close eye on it. Right now, the score at the end of 4 is 1-1.
Dodger baseball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. With the Dodgers chipping in with a Kyle Tucker home run in the top of the second. And in the bottom of the third, it was Dansby Swanson homering to left center to tie that up at 1 apiece. Kyle Tucker, and I'm about to get into this, talking about the hottest and coldest Dodgers right now, but Kyle Tucker is just a different animal on the road. I think Bill Reiter and D-Mac have illuminated this quite well, but just a completely different player is Kyle Tucker home and away when you look at the splits. 271 on the road, right? 209 at home. And I tell you what, this is a little bit of a revenge game. First of all, Kyle Tucker had a great game yesterday, and now he's off to a really hot start today with that solo shot. But again, this is a big-time revenge game, and don't think that the Wrigley faithful forgot about it.
I mean, I tried my hardest last year. Tried playing through a hand fracture and calf thing, and just trying to get back to the playoffs for them, and trying to do what I could to help out the team last year with them. So I hit really well in the first half, and second half didn't go as great, and kind of didn't end up great at the end of the year, but had a good run.
That was Kyle Tucker talking about getting booze at Wrigley Field. If you listen to that, you have no idea that he's talking about the booze. I mean, that's what's so funny about the whole situation. Has Kyle Tucker, and look, I know he's slumping, and he's getting booed at home by the Dodger faithful. But I'm just saying, has Kyle Tucker ever told a joke in his entire life? In his entire life, has he ever told a joke? He's just he's wound up so tight, man. Somebody's asking about, hey, what does it feel like getting the booze from the Chicago crowd? And he gives you an Excel spreadsheet answer of how his season went last year.
I actually thought last year started out pretty well.
Thanks, Kyle. I mean, it's like we're trying to ask you some kind of emotional response question here. Hey, how does it feel to get booed, and literally just starts going into like an Excel spreadsheet answer. Like, it's just, in July I hit 207, and okay, and then at the end of the year, okay, it didn't go as well. Well, thanks, dude. Thanks, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I'm glad he got the bag, but this is just, has the man ever told a single joke in his entire life? I don't know. 855-97 LA fan against 855-97 LA fan. It's a great bridge into what I want to talk about today, which is the best and worst Dodgers right now. Who are the best and worst Dodgers right now? And we're going to start at the top and work our way to the bottom. Or should we go the other way? Should we go from the bottom up?
I kind of like from the bottom up.
Okay, we'll go
like
from
Drake.
Yeah. Sure, why not? Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Okay, we're going to go in the F tier. F tier. I feel bad, but this is true. F tier, Dodger. We're going to go tiers because that's what the young kids like to do is they go tiers. Okay. F tier Dodgers right now, Mookie Betts. He's 33 years old. And by the way, when we're talking about best and worst Dodgers like right now, trust me, contract plays a factor. The contract plays a factor in all of these rankings, okay? So Mookie Betts, who is 33 years old, has 6 years and about $150 million left on his contract, $29 million per year, roughly, for Mookie Betts, who, again, is 33. By the time this contract is done, he'll be 39, 40 years old. Ooh, boy. But again, F tier, I feel bad because I like Mookie. I do. Seems like a really, really good dude. But, man, this guy is hitting 226 on the season. He's got 13 home runs and 36 RBIs, again, on the season. But since July 1, he's hitting 185.
Brother,
He's hitting 185 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs.
That's terrible.
8 RBIs since July 1st. That is a 52 RBI pace. That is a 13 home run pace since July 1, where he is again hitting 185. Give me the brother ooh again, because that's how I feel.
Brother,
When I see a batting average of 185 with 8 RBIs, that's what I think.
Brother,
When I say a 52 RBI pace and a 13 home run pace, that's what I think.
Brother,
And then when I think about a guy who's got 6 years and $150 million left on this contract, that's what I think.
Brother,
That's tough, man. That is tough. So, again, I apologize to Mookie Betts, but, again, because of the contract and because of the lack of production, F tier, Mookie Betts. In the D tier, we're going to go with Kyle Tucker. And I feel like this one is, again, I know he's having a great game today.
Just got another hit.
He just got another hit. I think he got a double. So, look, he's doing great. The revenge game is absolutely going hard right now. And, yesterday he had a great game too. But I think when we're talking about just overall hottest, best, and worst Dodgers right now, I don't think for the money, I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's too far to say that Kyle Tucker is still very much a disappointing player, and he is in my D tier. Okay, he's 29 years old. He's hitting 240, like I said, on the season. He's got a 371 slugging percent, man. Like 371 slug? 371?
that's terrible.
No. Can't do it. He's got 9 home runs and 7 stolen bases, but since July 1st, he is hitting 244 with just 2 home runs and, again, 7 RBIs. I just said, hey, Mookie Betts has 8 RBIs since July 1st. Kyle Tucker, he's got 7. That is beyond bad.
Brother,
That is beyond bad. And again, I just want to lay out these splits again, man. He's, for some reason, cannot hit at Dodger Stadium. 209 at home, but he's hitting 271 on the road. Let me give you some more home road splits here. And again, this doesn't include today, okay? But 7 of his 9 home runs, actually, if we include today, 8 of his 10 home runs, 8 of his 10 home runs have come on the road. 8 road home runs, 8 road home runs and 2 home runs. What? That's a crazy split. By the way, 34 RBIs away from Dodger Stadium. That is double of what he has at home. And sure, we could say 35 RBIs on the road, more than double. 17 RBIs at home. That's wild. That is wild. How do you have more than double the production on the road? That's nuts. Hey, listen, if he was hitting 270 and was popping these home runs and was giving you, he's got, 60, 70 RBIs, again, still underperforming the contract, but no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it at all. But man, dude's hitting 240 with 9 jacks, 7 stolen bases. And the home road splits are crazy. Kyle Tucker, D tier.
I don't know where I heard this.
Okay.
But I heard it from somebody literally 2 days ago. I know it was 2 days ago for a fact. I think I was watching a game and someone had mentioned that when you're on the road, there's just simply less distractions than at home. And I know it doesn't happen with everybody, those splits. And those are really lopsided to where,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. But that could be a factor, is that there might just be less distractions on the road and you just simply focus on the game.
Bro, what are the distractions? Like what? Like his kids? Like his home life?
Maybe family, home life. Once you have a long homestand, maybe you're doing things throughout the day. You got to get things done. We got to go to the store.
Go to the store?
Do this.
No.
Your head's in other places. You never know.
Let me tell you right now. Listen, let me tell you something right now. Kyle Tucker is not doing Amazon returns, bro. He's not. Kyle Tucker ain't going to the grocery store to pick up milk, bro.
You think he has someone pick up his groceries for him?
Yes, dude. I promise you, Kyle Tucker ain't going to Costco, brother. What?
I didn't say Costco. He could go to Ralph's.
My dude, Kyle Tucker ain't fighting the lions at Costco, dog. Okay.
Think he has a Costco card?
I guarantee you he's got a Costco. Everyone's got a Costco card. Dude, that is insane. Let me just say, dude, if you don't have a Costco card and you're a grown ass adult, I don't trust you, bro. I don't. I do not, man. Double P, you got a Costco card, dude. You're not a grown family man, though. Hey, listen, you're not a family man. I'm just saying, like, if you're past the age of 30 and you don't have a Costco card, I'm not going to lie. I'm straight up, I'm judging you, dude. Straight up.
Okay, I'll take the 30. The 30's good.
Hey, listen, you got to be 30 years old because if you're not 30, you're doing other fun things, okay? Like, you're probably not worried about saving, 15 cents on some frozen pizza, okay? Like, that's my life, dude. It's like, ooh, look at this. Honey, check this out. The frozen chicken wings are on sale. We got to get a bag. It's like normally $13.99. I'm buying it for $8.99. Throw it in. Babe, throw that in.
Throw it in.
Hey, let me tell you right now, though, if you are 30 years old, if you're over the age of 30 and you don't have a Costco card, I'm not sure I can be friends with you, bro. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Look, if you're over the age of 30, and again, I'm just saying, like, you got to have the Costco card. I mean, what are you doing? Get yourself the Costco card. I don't know. Maybe am I going too far here? I don't know. Double P's not 30 yet. Double P's not even 25 yet, okay? So, True. Listen, he's got a ways to go. When he turns 30, I will ask him straight away if he's got the I promise you. I promise you. I don't know how far away Double P is from marriage, and hopefully his girlfriend's not listening. I'm just saying. I don't know how I'm putting him on blast right now. Double P, I don't know how far away you are from marriage, dog. Okay, but once you get married and like within a year, you will get the Costco card.
Okay.
That's happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is happening.
Hey, so I actually looked up Kyle Tucker's 29, so he might not have. He might not have.
Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, look this up for me, Double P, while I'm talking over here, dude. Tell me how many kids Kyle Tucker has. I don't even know if he's married. I'm assuming he's married. I don't know. I literally have no idea. But tell me if he's married and he's got them kids, okay?
He is married.
Okay, he's married.
I'll check on the kids.
Okay, you check on the kids. I'm going to talk about Teoscar Hernandez, who's also in my D tier. Teoscar Hernandez has 3 home runs over his last 5 games, and that's great. That is wonderful. But since July 1st, Teoscar's hitting 225. And again, I said he's got 3 in his last 5 games. Since July 1, you can only add 1 more home run. He's got 4 home runs in that span. And he's got just 9 RBIs. That's a 58 RBI pace. Okay? Now, he's got 2 years left at 31 total, but 1 is a club option. So really, honestly, it's probably like a 1-year deal left. He's got 1 extra year, essentially, at a very reasonable rate. I think it's at like $16 million. So, again, he's 33 years old. We'll see where he's at. But I will say, again, if we're just basing this off of like where these guys are at right now, I'll go ahead and put Teoscar in the D tier. Again, maybe this doesn't matter, but, I don't know where there's been no power in this lineup. There's been no RBIs in this lineup. The lineup is withering right now. And if I just talked about yesterday, it doesn't matter. There's no excuses. It's the 3rd World Series in 3 years or bust. The Dodgers have to three-peat, or this season is a colossal failure. Period. And I don't need to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. It's just, listen, they have to win a championship or it's a bust. And you could say, well, that's not fair. It doesn't matter fair or not fair. They got to win. Those are the expectations. We got a child count on Kyle Tucker? What do we got?
1 kid.
Okay, he's got 1 kid.
Who is about 5 months old.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, 4 months old.
Okay. Hey, listen. Okay, that does add to the home narrative.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on.
Yeah.
When you have a kid who's under 6 months, there's a lot of things going on. I wonder if he's like trying to pick up like the night feedings. I don't know.
The night shift.
Is he doing the night shift thing? I don't know. Maybe he's doing the whole good dad thing. I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, okay? He's not going to Costco. All right? He's not. He's not. Dude, I don't even. Is he even taking out the trash, bro?
Ooh.
Is Kyle Tucker taking out the trash?
Man.
He's not doing the Amazon returns, okay? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what kind of distractions does a pro ball player making $60 million have? Like, what are the distractions at home, bro? Okay, when you have a kid though of 6 months or less, that's definitely a thing for sure, 100%, no question. Doesn't matter. In the C tier, I am putting my boy Tommy Tank Hyunsu Edman. He started out absolute gangbusters. I mean, just fire. And on the season, you look at the season-long numbers, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. He's hitting 300, which is good. Okay, he's only played 37 games. He's got 3 home runs and 21 RBIs. You're like, hey, you know what? Those are pretty darn good numbers. Unfortunately, since July 1st, I wanted to put him in the B tier, but unfortunately, I put him in the C tier because since July 1st, he has cooled considerably. He's hitting 256. He's got 2 home runs and 13 RBIs. Since July 1st, again, that's an 81 RBI pace, which is totally fine. I think that's fine, and like I said, C tier, you're fine. It's not like you're great, but you're not hurting the club. And I feel like that's where Tommy Hyunsu Edman is at right now. He's good. He's not hurting the club, but at the same time, I don't necessarily know if he's not totally adding to the club either. You know what I mean?
He's 0 for 2 today, and counting today, he is now 1 for his last 22.
Yeah, not good.
I don't think that's great now.
No. Like I said, he started off gangbusters, though,
And Dave Roberts moved him to 3rd in the order.
I know.
There for a minute,
I
and
know.
now he's hitting 8th tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. It never felt like him hitting third in the order was going to stick. Although, again, maybe if he had kept the hot streak going, maybe they stick him there. But I don't know. It just felt like with all the bats and all the contracts and all the name, the big name bats, it just never felt like Tommy was going to stick in that role. But who knows? Who knows? But again, he has struggled. There's no question. Okay, so again, Tommy Hyunsu Edman is in my C tier. I've also got Max Muncy in my C tier. He's 35 years old. Over his last 14 games, he's shown some power, which is good. He's got 4 home runs over his last 14 games. But since July 1, he's hitting .222. And oh, by the way, you know how I said in his last 14 games he has had good power? Yeah. Well, since July 1, it's just, you can expand it out to July 1. He doesn't have a home run. He's got 4 home runs since July 1 while hitting .222, which is, again, not great. I think his power surge over the last 14 games is enough to put him in the C tier. Also signed a 1-year, $10 million deal, so it's not as if the Dodgers were looking for a ton from the 35-year-old. But, again, I think he's been fine for expectations. But I don't think he's, given his contract and given his place in the batting order, I don't think he's hurt the club. But again, I don't think he's necessarily been great for the Dodgers either. Okay, so that's my C tier. In the B tier, it's one guy. I got Andy Pages in my B tier. He's hitting .267, and he's got just 2 home runs since July 1st, which is, again, not great. But again, he does have 14 RBIs, which has been helpful as well. So the power has kind of sort of gone by the wayside, but he has driven in some runs. So that's pretty good. I would say Andy Pages, and again, getting on base for you too, hitting .267. I think Andy Pages has been slightly above average, which is why he's in the B tier. All right, in my A tier and S tier, I tell you what, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for after the break. We're also going to be speaking with Fox Sports' Rowan Kavner, who writes and creates a lot of Major League Baseball content. So he's a Major League Baseball writer for Fox Sports. He's coming up next, right here on The James Koh Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Yo! Welcome back, everybody. James Coe here with you, enjoying ourselves on a beautiful Tuesday evening. I am so excited to be reuniting with an old colleague of mine. He is a proud LSU alum. He is the former Dodgers editor of digital and print publications. He is somebody who was consistently on my Clippers radio show way back in the day. We welcome in for the first time to the James Coe Show, Rowan Cavner from Fox Sports. What's up, Rowan? How you
James,
doing?
what up, man? What up? Do we need to talk about Lob City or like Blake Griffin dunking or Chris Paul or anything? Or
Not today, pal.
are we over that now?
No,
Is that done? Okay.
It's done. It's done and over with, pal. Unfortunately, I do miss
Okay,
those media
right.
breaks though, where I got some PB&J, some ice cream from their ice cream machine. It was great. Rowan, who is an MLB writer for Fox Sports, you just recently wrote a power rankings column for Fox Sports. In this column, Rowan, who are some of the biggest movers in your opinion?
Yeah, I think power rankings. We're doing them basically every week, so sometimes you don't see huge moves, but we kind of waited on this one for the trade deadline to come and go, and that's. I think it's not just about what they did the last week in this case. It's the moves they made.
Right.
And I think, San Diego is a team that I'm interested in. AJ Preller, who runs their baseball ops, you can never really count him out of a move. He just can't sit still at the trade deadline, no matter what that farm system looks like. They added two big starting pitchers with Casey Mize and Robbie Ray, and that was an area of definite need for them. I mean, obviously, look, you get Tarek Skubal. You can't move the Dodgers from 1 to anywhere above 1, so they're staying where they are there. I think what Tampa Bay did was pretty interesting, and so they moved up a spot. And then, look, the Boston Red Sox are just the hottest team on earth right now.
Yes.
They've won 28 of 33. They're about to win 29 of 34, and they made the most. Obviously the Skubal move is the biggest move of the deadline, but right behind it, 1B, I guess you could say, is the Adley Rutschman move. And they traded a ton from the farm to go get him under contract for another year after this, too. So they are betting big that he can be an impact bat for them. And they're going all in. They're trying to take advantage of this last month, and we'll see if it works.
Can I follow up with you there? Again, we got Rowan Cavner from Fox Sports talking MLB with us here tonight. I wanted to follow up on that Boston Red Sox part of it, right? So they gave up a huge haul. I mean, an absolutely massive haul for Adley Rutschman, who I know they had a need. They wanted to get some more production from, the catcher spot. That being said, it baffles the mind that Boston wouldn't get on the horn with Detroit and say, here's this entire package of players, give us Skubal. And again, maybe Detroit looks at their package and say, well, we still would prefer Zaire Hope more than your package, but I just have a hard time believing that. I don't know. What were your thoughts there?
That's interesting. I hadn't really heard a lot of people talking about that because I think the Red Sox need, we heard them so much kind of going into the deadline, was they're going to get one of these controllable shortstops. They're going to pay up big for a guy like Zach Neto from the Angels. They needed, middle infield help. They had a bunch of starters. I think they were pretty set there, which is why they got rid of Connolly early and that early deal for Curtis Mead. Mm-hmm. And then immediately Curtis Mead breaks his wrist, and that didn't work out so good. They have kind of Crochet with this sort of nebulous timeline where if they get him back, they're kind of set there. That's interesting, though. I mean, sure, yeah. I think there's 30 teams in the league that would be interested in having Tarek Skubal. I think if you're a contender for sure. I think it tells you what they think of Adley Rutschman. I mean, it tells you two things, right? They feel pretty good about their rotation, and they really felt they needed an impact bat. And they are betting big, again, on a guy who the last couple years has really regressed. This year has bounced back in a big way, and they think can be a huge difference maker. They are betting on that. He has to be a guy that can carry them far. Otherwise, they're going to look back on that not feeling so good. I mean, and that's kind of the thing right now, and it's what's so disappointing from Baltimore side. If you're Baltimore fans, you've waited so long through this rebuild. You have a 100-win season. You have Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson and these guys who are your nucleus. It's supposed to be a change.
Right.
And you don't even win a playoff game with those guys, and you kind of give it up. So if you're judging who wins the trade, we could 100% look back on that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and look at Ianson, who's a huge arm,
Right.
and say, well, for sure, Baltimore won that trade. But you got to kind of zoom out a second, and I think if you're an Orioles fan, you're just tired of waiting, and it's just more waiting now. So, again, yeah, Boston's betting big that he makes a difference, and they got to make a huge run with him. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to justify.
You know what's funny? There are trades that sometimes, like I look at the Myles Garrett trade, right? And I say to myself, okay, well, both teams actually won this trade. It's a great deal for both teams. I look at the Baltimore-Boston trade, and I said, it feels like both teams lost somehow. Like to your point, Baltimore should be making some kind of, like, they should have been buyers or something at this point, where, like, again, they had a young nucleus. You're thinking, okay, they should be on the come up. Nope, they're not. They blow it up and they start over. They lost. And then Boston, I'm like, good Lord almighty, how did y'all give up this many prospects for a catcher right now who is scuffling and injured? It felt like, to me, both teams kind of sort of failed there. Okay, can I ask you about the Skubal trade, though?
You can.
Look, everyone is weighing in. I wanted to get Rowan Kavner's thoughts here on the Skubal trade. And the thing that really just irked me, or that would irk me if I was a Tigers fan, is why make this deal on Saturday when you know and everyone knows, everyone who's ever been around any trade deadline of any sport knows, price goes up the closer it gets to the actual deadline. For Detroit to move on a Saturday, I don't know, man. It just felt like, again, and it proved itself as well. The haul is pretty lackluster, I think, is what the general consensus is around the baseball world. So I want to get your thoughts. Why in the world do you think Detroit made this move on a Saturday instead of waiting till Monday?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. And Scott Harris, who runs the Tigers, was asked about it, and he, kind of scoffed at that and basically said it wouldn't have mattered, if it was Saturday or Monday, like that was the deal we wanted. And it sort of sounded like there wasn't a ton of back and forth of, here's what we're giving you. Yeah, let's go to this other team. Yeah, hey, they're going to do this. It sort of was like, here's kind of what we want. And when we get what we want, we're gonna do that. I was surprised by it. I thought that would happen. I thought they'd be able to get more, whether it was from the Dodgers, getting a guy also off their big league roster. Like if you added Emmett Sheehan to that deal, I think you'd say, okay, I could maybe see that happening. The fact that the Dodgers did this without losing anyone from their big league roster, without losing either of their top two and arguably three outfield prospects, they're not going to feel this, really. I mean,
no.
River Ryan's kind of a big wild card in this because he has huge stuff. He could absolutely be a difference maker if he can stay healthy. He hasn't. He hasn't really pitched much at all in the last 3 years. He was coming off Tommy John. He's had hamstring injuries, issues this year. He's about to be 28 years old, which obviously is really old for a prospect. So that's kind of the big wild card in this. I mean, Zaire Hope, who is the outfielder that Detroit got, is a really good player. Could be a really good player for a long time. But I am surprised they weren't able to get more, whether it was from them, whether it was from, the Braves or the Brewers or the Rays or any of these contending teams that really could have used him a lot more than the Dodgers could have used him. The Dodgers entered this deadline with arguably the least needs they've ever had. And yet everyone, and you talked consensus, even talking to other teams, executives, everyone kind of expected the Dodgers to get him, that they managed to do it without giving up. With this being kind of the haul that Detroit got back, I was surprised by that. It's not a bad deal. It's just, to your point, if this was at 2:59 p.m., they're like, we got to deal Skubal, we got to get something, and this is what happened, I wouldn't be surprised. I was surprised on Saturday night that happened.
Right. I think you nailed it right there. It's like, hey, if that's the deal at the buzzer, then you get it. You're like, all right, nobody else stepped up, and they had to make a move, and this is the best deal that they got. And then you could even, and again, I think blame goes to all the other 28 general managers.
100%.
But still,
100%. I think, look, I'm really surprised. I guess I'm not surprised because the Brewers don't ever do it, but that they didn't decide to push in right now. I mean, if not now, when? If getting swept out of the NLCS last year wasn't enough to say, hey, look, we need star power. There's no question. They've proven it. This is a great, sustainable operation capable of winning 90 plus 95 plus wins every year, getting first place in the division. But at some point, you got to be playing for October. And if last October didn't show you need to find more star power,
right.
I don't know what would. They were one of my big losers. The Braves were a big loser, not being able to get a starting pitcher. I think what the Rays did actually kind of in countering with that, they made some really good moves. But yeah, I mean, this is on the other 29 teams for letting this happen.
Yeah. Talk to me about a under the radar move that piqued your interest.
Interesting. I don't know how. First of all, I think Luke Weaver going to the Pirates. I think what the Pirates did. I'm surprised. You look at kind of like the Pythagorean, what they should be doing with that offense, with that rotation. I think that team's better than what they've played. They so clearly needed bullpen help, and they just completely fixed it. And to me, that's what the trade deadline's about. What do we need? How do we fix it? The Pirates clearly needed bullpen help. They got 4 good relievers. They got the best reliever available, I would say, in Luke Weaver. I think that Luke Weaver move could be really, really important, and I could see that maybe being the difference in them sneaking in to a postseason spot. I mentioned I like what Tampa did, and I didn't even have them in my winners, but I think the move to get Liam Hicks, there weren't a lot of impact catchers outside of Adley Rutschman, obviously, that were able to move. They found a way to add him. He has been one of the better hitting catchers in the game, and that's a position that they really needed help up the middle, whether it was catcher, middle infield, center field. They needed some more offensive pop. To be able to get him, I think, was a really big move. The Cubs completely overhauled their pitching staff, so I guess it's not really underrated to say, getting Clay Holmes and Kevin Gossman is a big deal. But I will say, one arm they also got, and they paid up big for him, was a guy named Ryan Zefferjan, who was a Angels reliever.
Oh, yeah.
Who, if you just look at the underlying stuff, it's just filthy. And has some walks issues, but just in terms of the stuff to overhaul the pitching staff the way the Cubs did, I think was huge and really kind of makes them contenders again because they needed a lot of work.
Okay, final question for you, and we're talking to Rowan Cavner here from Fox Sports. Final question for you. Are the Dodgers ruining baseball?
I would say they are not ruining baseball, and I know it's just going to piss everybody off outside of Los Angeles because they're all going to say that that's the case. But this trade is just the perfect example of this, right? Because we knew if Skubal went to Milwaukee or Tampa Bay or one of those other teams that are kind of just more I wouldn't say surprising in contention because both of those teams are doing this every year, but a smaller market club, and he ended up being the difference in winning a World Series, everyone would then say, see, look, it's possible.
Exactly.
And now instead he goes to the Dodgers, and if they go and win, it says, this is unfair. To your point here, any team could have traded for this guy. The Brewers have arguably a better farm system, certainly the top prospects to be able to go do this if they want. Now, there is a financial element to this in that the Dodgers can lose some of these prospects that other teams can't afford to lose because they can pay for players that these other teams are not paying for. They could pay for these players, maybe not to the level of the Dodgers, obviously. But the fact is, those teams, the Brewers right now, have a chance to win a World Series. If you're not going to go do it right now, when are you going to do it? And they only have themselves to blame in this case if it doesn't happen. That was pretty bad, and I think the Braves probably should have looked at doing that too, and they didn't do it. So they have ways of improving their team. This is not a financial decision. This is a development decision, and instead of going in, they're probably going to watch the Dodgers win a third straight World Series time.
Yeah, to me, it's just so frustrating when you take a look at, and again, it's a loser mentality in my opinion. It's like, oh, Milwaukee can't afford Skubal in the offseason. Why not? Why not? That's why I don't get. Like, why not? Like, what?
I mean, sure, yes. All of these owners can definitely be spending more money than they're spending now. And
Exactly.
I will listen to anybody who talks about the financial disparities being a problem. I can completely understand that. Obviously, I still think the fact that these owners are that there's under $100 million payrolls is still a bigger problem. But I can at least listen to that. In this case, to say that the Dodgers are ruining baseball because they got Tarek Skubal by giving away 3 prospects, I'm not buying that.
Listen, I'll just say this and I'll let you go. Milwaukee right now has committed $150 million to the payroll. Okay, let's say you give Skubal $35 million per for the next, 10 years, whatever. Obviously, he's not going to get a 10-year deal. Whatever. Like, let's just say you give him another $35 million for the next 5 years, okay? That $35 million would push them to 18th. 18th in payroll.
They just can't afford it.
They just can't afford it. What are we talking about out here? I don't get it. I don't understand. Anyways, it's the great Rowan Cavner. Great talking with you once again. Follow him. Again, he's an MLB writer for Fox Sports. Comes out with these power rankings, man. He's a great follow as well. So, Rowan, we appreciate the time, brother.
All right, good talking to you, man.
All right, man. We'll definitely catch up with Rowan Cavner again. Really good insight especially from a league-wide perspective, right? So again, just a guy who follows the major leagues as a whole and talks about the power rankings and really examining all 30 of these teams. Anyways, we step away. When we come back, it's more the James Coe Show right here on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. in Los Angeles. James Coe here with you. Having a good time. That was a great conversation that we had with Fox Sports' Rowan Kavner. I like the insight that he gave, and I just want to clarify too. Again, I don't know what the hell Tarek Skubal is going to go for. I guess his demands are a 10-year, $500 million deal. I guess. I don't think he will get that. Maybe it'll be a shorter-term deal for, let's say, 7 years, $350 million. Even that is, even that's absurd, like ridiculous money for a 29-year-old pitcher. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure, man. I don't know what the hell he's going to get. But let's just say he gets a 7-year, 50, like, again, at $50 million per. Let's just say $50 million per, okay? Again, $50 million per, if you're looking at just payroll, if Milwaukee paid $50 million per, that would push them up to 16th in total payroll for this year. So they would, what are we talking about here? They would still be about league average in terms of total payroll. And you're saying, well, they're a smaller market team. They don't make that much. Right, okay. Except that when you got revenue data calculated by Forbes and Spotrac, Milwaukee is estimated to be spending about 40% of their revenue on payroll. About 40-ish percent, maybe 41%. That's one of the lowest in Major League Baseball. So yes, they're not making that much, but trust me, they're making plenty. And they are not investing it into payroll. Where's it going? Guess what? It's going to the billionaire's pocket. Right there, boom. So, again, I don't buy this false premise that Milwaukee cannot afford Tarek Skubal. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Again, they can negotiate in good faith, and if that's what Skubal wants, if he wants $50 million over 10, for 10 years, he wants a $500 million. Again, I don't know what the market would be. I bet you, but I tell you what, if Milwaukee has him and they go win the World Series, they're in the driver's seat, right? And if the Dodgers come in and swoop in and pay him a 10-year, $500 million contract, well, you have now, if you're Milwaukee, you have now forced LA to overpay. Right? And by the way, if the salary cap then comes, then what are we talking about? Now LA is stuck with their contracts for the foreseeable future. I understand that a lot of it will be grandfathered in, but I promise you not all of it's going to be grandfathered in. They're not going to let LA get away with that. They're just not going to. They're already letting LA get away with the most profitable TV deal in Major League Baseball. They're not going to, I promise you, they are not going to let LA grandfather in all of these contracts. There's no chance. And again, I know people disagree. And everyone is saying, all the reporting says that these contracts are getting... No, they're not, dude. Again, we're so far away. As a matter of fact, when they start talking about salary cap, when have you ever heard about revenue split? You have not heard a single peep about revenue split. The only thing that you have heard about is a salary cap. Why? Because that is billionaire propaganda. That's why. Why have you not heard about a revenue split? Literally, you can't have a salary cap without talking about revenue split. What are you talking? That doesn't exist. There needs to be a revenue split, and then there needs to be a cap, and then there needs to be a floor. That is how all the other leagues operate. But the only thing that you have heard about, you, Joe Consumer, the only thing that you have heard about is a cap. Why do you think that is? Because the PR and the billionaires that are in control of the message, that's all you're hearing. Again, we're so far away from a cap being enacted. So, again, I don't want to hear about, well, all these contracts are going to be if all these contracts are grandfathered in, the Dodgers are going to win for the next 10 years, guys. You think the other owners are going to allow for that? No way. Absolutely no chance. Just use your big boy brain for a second. Some of the contracts will be grandfathered in, but it'll probably be a sliding scale. Some percentage, or maybe it's fully 100% grandfathered in for a year, and then a sliding scale in year 2, 3, 4, 5, and then full integration by 5 years, right? Use your brain a little bit. That's most likely what's going to happen. And if that happens, like I said, if that happens and they sign Skubal to a 10-year, $500 million contract, they're going to paint themselves into a corner, man. And if you're Milwaukee or you're any other team in the Major League Baseball, like, that's what you want the Dodgers to do. You want them to overspend. You have to have them overspend. Dude, what? I'm just so confused. Has no GM played chess before? Has no GM thought about 2 moves ahead? Have no GMs thought about, okay, well, most of these other GMs are out there playing checkers, man. Like, what are we doing? And the reason I'm getting heated about it is because, like, why are y'all blaming the Dodgers? It don't make no dang sense. Just because the Dodgers are playing it the right way and they're thinking 2-3 moves in advance, all these other billionaire crybabies can't handle it. Stupid. Stupid. And now they're talking about a cap. A cap with no revenue split. Okay. We'll see how that goes. As a matter of fact, I hope the cap never comes. It's ridiculous. And it's stupid. And I hate these billionaire crybabies, man. Unbelievable. All right, I'll tell you what, we step away. When we come back, it's more of the James Coe Show. What is going on, Los Angeles? We enter into the 7 o'clock hour. I'm taking it all the way up to 10 o'clock tonight, as we do every single night. You're listening to the James Coe Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. If y'all want to be part of the conversation, give me a call, 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. The comments on the YouTube side, they got me cracking up, man. I was talking about you got to have a Costco membership. You got to have a Costco membership. Otherwise, I'm not sure we can be friends. If you are 30 years old and you don't have a Costco membership, I just don't think we're aligned. I just don't think we're aligned. Sports Wager says Costco and Sam's Club because we stay strapped in Inglewood, or we stay strapped in Inglewood. Ipe from prison says that he's got both the Costco and the Sam's Club membership. And he also says, hey, listen, buying chicken wings for $8.99 versus $13.99, that's winning because life every day is losing.
Oh.
Listen, man, I'm just saying, bro, like, if you're 30 years old and you ain't got that Costco membership, you're either in a completely different tax bracket, like way above me, which means we probably can't be friends, or I don't know, man, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, 30 years old. I mean, because even if it's just you and your girl, Double P, even if it's you and your girl, like, you're going to go to Costco and just buy random things. Like, maybe I'm just going to go to Costco and buy, paper towels.
Yeah, well, I will say, yeah, I don't have a card, but, I mean, going in there, it is pretty, like, addicting.
No, it is.
It really is.
100%.
And Home Depot, too. I know we're talking about Costco. But
Home Depot. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yes.
No, absolutely. Home Depot, random Home Depot story that I will share. Hopefully my daughter's not listening. One time, I shadow banned myself from Home Depot for a full year.
Wow.
Because I go there and it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of raining. You know how LA is. It doesn't like rain that hard all the time. Anyways, it kind of rain. I brought my daughter out there. I forgot what I was going to pick up. Something for my lawn. So I was probably going to buy seedlings for my lawn or something. I don't know what it was. Anyways, I go to Home Depot. I have my daughter with me, who, this is a long time ago. And she's like, I don't know, maybe like, I think she's 5 or 4, maybe she's 4 years old. So she's pretty young,
Okay.
And I'm a newish dad. Okay. Like I said, 4 years, like it's my first kid, I'm a somewhat newish dad. We go to Home Depot. We're looking around. I'm like trying to buy the things. I got like an armful of stuff that I'm going to buy. And so then my daughter, all of a sudden out of nowhere, is like, Dad, I need to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, oh no. Okay. So, and my idiot, but I did not have a cart. I just had a bunch of stuff in my arms because I'm like, all right, hey, listen, I'm going to raw dog this thing. I'm going to just grab a bunch of stuff, go to the counter, and then we're out of here. So I had to like put all my stuff down. As I am putting my stuff down, she went potty.
Oh boy.
Yeah. In the middle of the aisle. And I was just so like, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? What do I do? Full on panic mode. My wife is not there. I'm like, I'm supposed to be watching this kid by myself. I forgot what she was doing. She's probably like out, I don't know, like hanging out with friends or something, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? I don't know what to do. I was just, it was so bad. I was like the what is it? The Mr. Krabs meme. You know what I'm saying? I was that, dude. Like, I was gone, bro.
So when you had all that stuff, though,
so here's
where
the
did
thing.
you put it? Just on the floor, like in the aisle?
So here's the thing, dude. I literally just put it on the floor. I grabbed my daughter and I left. I didn't even have the honor to like tell an employee that there was a wet spot in the aisle. I just literally just put all the stuff down, grabbed my daughter, and I booked it.
Oh,
and
no.
I left that like a crime scene, dude. I left Home Depot like a straight up crime, like a straight up criminal. It was so bad. We went back home. I changed, and that was my whole day. That was it. Like there was nothing that happened after that. My daughter was crying because she thought that, that I was mad at her. I was like, dude, not mad at you at all. I was mad at myself for being such a bum. Like, dude, I am a bum.
I'm mad at myself, sweetheart.
I am a bum. What have I done? How is there a giant wet spot in the middle of Home Depot? And I did not take responsibility like a bum. I was so mad at myself, dude. It was so bad, dude. Anyways, I don't know how I went down that rabbit hole. Anyways, let's get you a Dodgers baseball update.
Dodger baseball.
And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, it has not gone well. Tarek Skubal, the line looks decent. Like, the line's okay. Like, 6 innings pitched, 6 Ks, 2 earned runs. He gave up 1 home run. And then Alex Vesia came in, and, middle relief came in. Evan Phillips came in, and it was not good. It was a 2-run, bottom of the 7th. And yeah, man, the Cubs now lead 4-1 as they go into the top of the 8th. So again, a couple innings here left for the Dodgers to turn around, but remember, they're coming into tonight's ball game with a 4-game losing streak. If they lose tonight, emphasis on if they lose tonight, it would be the longest losing streak of the year for the Dodgers, which, by the way, that's obviously not great. Anyways, but it does dovetail quite nicely into who are the hottest and who are the coldest Dodgers as we sit here on August 4th. Okay, by the way, Dalton Rushing, if you missed it, is on the 10-day IL. He's dealing with arm irritation caused by a right elbow strain, as an MRI showed. The team described it as normal wear and tear, did not point to a specific incident in regards to the right elbow irritation. 10-day IL for Dalton Rushing. They made a couple of backup catcher moves. So, again, we'll see. We'll see what's going on with Rushing. We'll see what's going on with Will Smith as well. Okay, just to recap, F tier, Mookie Betts. D tier, Teoscar Hernandez, Kyle Tucker. C tier, Max Muncy and Tommy Tank Hyunsu Edman. B tier, Andy Pages, who's hitting .267 with just 2 home runs since July 1st. Does have 14 RBIs, though, which is not great, but it's not bad either. A tier. So we've got the A tier and we've got the S tier. In the A tier, Roki Sasaki. Last 3 games, he's got a 1.50 ERA, and he's got 21 strikeouts in 18 innings, and the Dodgers are 3-0 in that span. A tier, Roki Sasaki. Yoshi Yamamoto, A tier. Over his last 7 games, he has a 3.19 ERA. The Dodgers are a disappointing 4-3 in his last 7 starts. But again, on the season, Yamamoto has been fantastic, a 2.76 ERA with a 0.883 whip for Yoshi Yamamoto. My goodness gracious, as we know, Yoshi Yamamoto, who is 27 years old, has a ton of time left on his contract. 9 years left, $240 million left, $27 million per for Yoshi Yamamoto. And again, if you missed it, when we're talking about the best and worst Dodgers right now, contract definitely comes into play. Definitely comes into play. Now, Yamamoto, one of the higher paid players on the Dodgers roster, but the bottom line is I think he is performing admirably well. And, it's been up and down. He's in the A tier. Also in the A tier, Shohei Ohtani. Since July 1st, we're talking 25 games, he's hitting .286 with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. If you were to stretch that out, that's a 39 home run pace, 110 RBI pace. That's pretty good. It's not quite what you would want, but it's pretty good.
Shohei Ohtani.
Check this out.
Check this out.
Shohei Ohtani, like I said, since July 1st, hitting 286 with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. It's pretty good. But again, it's just and by the way, listen, again, measured across his actual contract, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would want just a touch more, but he's still in the A tier. He's got 7 years left in his deal at $490 million total, $70 million per year for Shohei Ohtani, which, by the way, it's totally fine. I'm not trying to bag on the guy. He is in the A tier, but you would just want just a skosh more from Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, the injury is playing a big factor. He's in the A tier. In the S tier, there's really only one player, man, and that's Freddie Freeman. 13-game hitting streak for Freddie Freeman. I didn't check. Let me go look right now. Does he have a hit today? Freddie Freeman does have a hit. So it's now a 14-game hitting streak for Freddie Freeman. But across that 13-game hitting streak, he's hitting .481 with a 1.048 OPS. Dude even's got 2 stolen bags in that stretch as well.
Fast Freddie?
Fast Freddie, baby. Not so fast nowadays, but, I mean, the 36-year-old getting on his wheels, giving you a couple of stolen bags in this 13-game hitting streak, too. That's kind of crazy, man. Over his last 53 games, so we're going back a ways now, the guy's hitting .355 with a .933 OPS. But, you know, Double P, if I'm nitpicking here, and remember, I did put Freddie Freeman in my S tier. If I'm nitpicking here, the power's down. The power is down for Freddie Freeman. 7 home runs. He's got 0 in his last 13 games, but he's on a 21 home run pace right now, at least over his last 53 games. Again, it's good. It's just not what we've come to expect from a guy who's, consistently giving you 28, 35, 40 home runs a year. You know what I mean?
True, but when you're that hot, like all the time, the pitchers haven't been making that many mistakes. They've been
really
pitching him so carefully, and a lot of his base hits. Honestly, if you're watching a Dodger game, I'm assuring everyone that everyone has seen Freddie Freeman lace one to left field, and he hits it to the opposite field all the time. That's all he does. He stays short to the ball, inside the baseball, and just punches it to left field. Opposite field hits is what Freddie Freeman's all about. And that doesn't really translate to power much on the opposite side of the field. So, yeah, we know Freddie has opposite field power, but he also has been getting the opposite field base hits as well. And he's just been taking simply what the pitching has been giving him.
Yeah, and listen, he has become a better contact hitter, or just has really morphed his game into being a contact hitter over the last few years, especially as he has aged and power kind of sort of has fallen by the wayside. If you're taking a look at his home run totals, again, he's sitting on 15 this year. If he gets to about 25, that would just be about right. For Freddie Freeman. In 2025, he had 24, he had 22, 29, 21. The last time he crossed that 30 home run threshold was actually his last year in Atlanta when he had 31. So his entire tenure here in LA, he has not had a 30 home run season. I'm actually surprised by that when I went through that and I looked. So I was pretty surprised. But again, the power is not quite there. And shoot, guys, I'm telling you, man, like I'm curious as to where the power is going to come from. They've been over-reliant on Shohei Ohtani hitting bombs, and Max Muncy has muscled some out. Dalton Rushing has muscled some out. But I just think overall, like I said, I am a little bit concerned as the season is wearing on. Where is the power going to come from? That's truly a question, and I think it is an area of concern. Shohei leads the way right now with 24. Max Muncy's got 21. Pages has 18, but as I mentioned, Pages, the power has gone bye-bye in recent weeks. So I'm not sure how much more we're going to see from Andy Pages in terms of the power. You know what I'm saying? Freddie Freeman's fourth on the team with 15. But again, Mookie Betts, his power's fallen off. Dalton Rushing started off hot. His power has fallen off. Teoscar Hernandez, I think there is a lot of power to be had there. Kyle Tucker with 9 is that's obviously not good. And there's really just nobody else.
Now pitching for the Dodgers.
Yeah, okay. All right, there you go.
Number 3, Edwin Diaz. And we're losing 4-1.
I don't understand this move. I don't understand Edwin Diaz coming in for the Dodgers right now when they're down 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. I guess we're going to get the innings in here, but
yes.
But I'm just saying, especially for a guy who is coming off of an injury, I just, like I said, I don't get it.
It's simply a stay warm type of thing. 4-game losing streak, and what is unfortunate. I don't want to. I'm not going to say it yet, but
yeah, exactly.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5.
You just have to get your closer in there at some point. Whether it is a close game.
How many days has it been? It hasn't been that many days. It's only been a couple, right?
True. Yeah, but he did go through a whole weekend without getting any pitching in there, so that you count that in as well. And he had to go on a plane flight. You get a little stiff on the plane. After Southwest. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Don't think they're flying Southwest.
Probably not. Yeah, Southwest not the most comfortable airline out there.
Don't think they're flying Southwest.
But yes, you get a little stiff after some trips.
I hear you.
Gotta stay loose.
Hey, and listen, he's not a young man anymore. We're talking 29 years old, right? So
true.
But again, I some names I did not put on here that do deserve some love, though. I would put Eric Lauer in the A tier as well. I didn't put him in there quite yet, but I would say Eric Lauer A tier. And 2 guys that I'm just stuck on, I don't really know where to go. I think Justin Robleski, I'm confused by. His last 2 outings have obviously been horrific, but overall he's been pretty good. And what do you know? Edwin Diaz just gave up a home run. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
So, again, kind of don't understand bringing him in. I don't really get it.
It is known to, when you bring in a closer in a non-save situation,
That's what I'm saying.
Usually doesn't go well.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Nico Horner with the solo shot to make it 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th. So again, the Dodgers running, they're down to their last 3 outs, and we'll see. And we'll see if this, if it even stays 5-1. I don't know where we're going. Other names that I was considering but not sure where to put: Tanner Scott, Edwin Diaz. Diaz is just too small of a sample size. Tanner Scott, again, I got to see him in the setup role before I can rank him. Justin Robleski, I was also torn on. Again, his last 2 starts have been absolutely awful, but overall I think he's been good. So I would lean towards C tier for Justin Robleski, but I was torn on that. I didn't have a real strong read on that one. All right, so there you go. Those are my tiers. Freddie Freeman being the only Dodger in the S tier is concerning, though.
Yeah, it is. He's been hitting the baseball, though. A couple of small little base hits.
He's raking.
But you have mentioned the lack of power.
Yeah.
Which,
14-game hitting streak right now, 0 home runs in that 14-game hitting streak, which is interesting. For Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki. In the A tier, B tier, Andy Pajes. C tier, Max Muncy, Tommy Edman. D tier, Teoscar, Tucker. And in the F tier, it's Mookie Betts. I feel like that's about right.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I agree with your rankings there. I didn't even look into the I wanted to just be kind of blind rankings for me.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it for sure.
We're talking about the best and worst Dodgers right now. That's kind of where I got it.
1.28 home runs the Dodgers average per game, by the way. That's 7th in the major leagues, which sounds kind of high.
It does, but I would love to see the split since July 1st, because I feel like since July 1st, the power has gone bye-bye.
Yep.
A lot of that power really came early on, especially from guys that we were not expecting power from. Andy Pajes was crazy to start. Dalton Rushing was crazy to start. Max Muncy's power was on full display early on as well. So those guys who gave unexpected production early on have cooled off considerably.
By the way, can you tell me the number 1 team in baseball averaging the most home runs? 1.44. They're tied with the Yankees. I will give you that. Yankees obviously play with that short porch in right field, which doesn't even count.
Dude, I mean, shot in the dark, Milwaukee?
It's a random team. Milwaukee is dead last.
Okay. They got a good offense, but they just don't have any home runs, huh?
Yeah, just a bunch of little guys. And Christian Yelich is having a down year.
Yeah.
No power there. But how about the Washington Nationals?
Oh, okay.
Who kind of stink, below 500,
Right.
but lead the majors in home runs per game, 1.5.
Wow. Where are the Phillies at?
Phillies are a top 10 team. They're right below the Dodgers at number 8, 1.26. Dodgers 1.2.
I got to be honest with you. I'm scared of the Phillies.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers should be.
I am scared of the Phillies. I feel like their lineup is pretty good, and their starting rotation scares the bejesus out of me.
Their postseason starting rotation does.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
what I mean.
completely
That's what I
shortens
mean.
down to 3. You got
And they got 3 good guys.
Wheeler, Luzardo, and Christopher Sanchez.
Right.
And it's really scary right there.
That's what I'm saying.
And then how about Luis Arias today for the Phillies? Couple of hits. Oh, my goodness. That guy's fantastic.
I am telling you, if the Dodgers see the Phillies, I will be scared out of my mind because, and I talked about this yesterday, Luis Arias is like such a low-key, big-brain move pickup for the Phillies because he just plays Ohtani so well. I got to look up the numbers again, but again, he's hitting over 400 against Shohei Ohtani. And what's crazy about that too is this guy, man, the way he gets the hits, it's like 6, 8, 10 pitch at bats. Just burning out the starter for no reason.
So annoying.
It's so annoying. It is so annoying. It's crazy, man. Okay, I tell you what. Let's step away. When we come back, it will be more of the James Coast Show. I need some callers, man. Hey, listen, if y'all want to call in, by all means, 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, it's 855-97-LA-FAN. Or if you got comments for the YouTube side, find us there at The Fan LA. All the comments that are appropriate will be read on air as well. Okay, we step away. We'll be right back. is cracking? It's your boy, James Coe. Dodgers are in bad shape right now. They're down the last 3 outs. They're trailing 5-1 in the top of the 9th. If the Dodgers end up losing this game, it will be their 5th in a row. And that would be the longest losing streak for the Dodgers this year. And also, since July 1st, they are, again, with this loss, would be 2 games under 500, which for this roster is flat out unacceptable. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about guys, having to make change. No. With this roster, 2 games below 500 since July 1st that is unacceptable. No excuses. You make the Skubal trade, and Skubal pitched fine. I don't think he pitched great. I think he pitched fine. Again, 6 innings pitched for Skubal, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. He gave up 4 hits and 2 walks. Now, again, I get it. You look at the stat line, you say to yourself, that's a good game. That is a good game. There was a lot of great defense behind him. I mean, tremendous defense behind him. That, again, those 4 hits that he gave, that could have easily been 7. Right? That could have easily been more than 2 earned runs. That could have easily been 3 or 4. Easily. I think he played well. I think he played fine. Like I said, I'm not gonna skewer the guy. I'm not gonna skewer Skubal. But I just think he was fine. And we'll see. But again, this was an okay outing for Skubal. It wasn't a great outing for Skubal, and the middle relief was a mess. Alex Vesia was a mess. 2/3 of an innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. Wasn't great. Evan Phillips came in after Vesia and also gave up a hit before recording his out. Then Edwin Diaz came in. I was questioning the move. Didn't think he needed to come in. And he promptly gave up a solo shot. So, yeah, man. Hey, Double P, you know who pitched, though, and was fantastic?
Who was that?
Oh, one Mr. Ryan Zefferjan.
Oh, Ryan Zefferjan of the Angels. Man, it was sad to see him go. Moment of silence, please, for Ryan Zefferjan.
1 clean inning for Ryan Zefferjan. Not bad.
Yeah, so before leaving the Angels, I know a lot of people were like, who is this guy? Especially Cubs fans, too.
Yeah.
They're probably like, who did we just get?
Yeah, this random middle reliever from the last place Angels.
Yes,
right.
And they didn't even realize, probably tonight, they're like, who is this guy? People who were at the game. This guy, Ryan Zefferjan, he had an ERA of just 1.38 since June 1st.
Oh, interesting.
With 44 strikeouts in 26 innings for the Angels. So before that, or after that, the Cubs said, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's bring him on our staff.
1 clean inning for Ryan Zefferjan, so that's not bad. So pretty good. The Dodgers are down to their last out right now, and it is Max Muncy at the dish. They are, again, trailing 5-1. Just to give you a Dodgers baseball update, let's talk about how we got here. Kyle Tucker is the lone run of the game. Go figure, man. Like Kyle Tucker in a revenge game spot against the Chicago Cubs. Of course, he is going to hammer a home run. So that made it 1-0 in the top of the second. In the bottom of the third, Swanson homered to tie it up. In the 6th, Horner reached on an infield single, scoring Bregman. PCA singled in the 7th to score Swanson to make it 3-1. And then again in the 7th, it was Suzuki driving home PCA to make it 4-1. And then it was Nico Horner again homering in the bottom of the 8th to make it 5-1. Man, Dodger fans, how are we feeling right now? How are we feeling? 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. By the way, the chats are hot right now. We got David Horse, as always, is in the building. Wayne Mulholland is asking about calls. Yeah, bro, we're taking calls, dude. 100%. By the way, game now officially over. Dodgers have now lost their 5th game in a row, 5-1 to the Cubbies.
Número 5.
What a time for that drop. What a time, dude.
Too soon.
I like it. It's good. They get swept out by Boston. Now they lose the first game of 3 against the Cubs here as well.
How about this? The Dodgers now have an 11-14 record since Ohtani's last pitching start
Oh, interesting.
on July 3rd.
Oh,
How about that? 11-14.
that's not good.
No.
That is not good. And again, we're talking about the Dodgers here, right? Like any other club, you're like 11-14. It's a small stretch. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Especially when you've got, 13, 14 game lead in the division. You're like, okay, hey, listen, there's going to be some slippage. I get it. I understand. But for this particular team, with this, lineup and with this pitching staff, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. I think that's unacceptable. I just, like I said, different guys got to start stepping up here. And by the way, I said this yesterday, that the Dodgers have gotten away with it. And people pointing to their payroll and saying, well, they can afford this and they can afford that. Guys, it's their lowest paid players who have been coming through. Andy Pages, Roki Sasaki. I mean, these guys are not making $1 million this year. It's some of their lowest paid players who have really... Tommy Hyunsu Edman is getting paid, but, he's not one of their frontline guys, right? Max Muncy is on a 1-year, $10 million deal. He's not one of their frontline guys, he's certainly not paid like one of their frontline guys, and he's provided a lift, especially early on. Tommy Hyunsu Edman provided a huge lift early on. Now he's cooling off. And this is the worst case scenario. This was the moment in time in the season for the Dodgers where their struggling veterans and their high-priced stars were supposed to emerge. Right? You said to yourself, hey, listen, Mookie Betts has struggled out the gates. You know what? He'll be fine. Kyle Tucker struggled out the gates, and you said to yourself, you know what? He'll be fine. All these guys were supposed to, again, step up, and they haven't done that. And then the unexpected production is now cooling off, and this is the result. Again, after you make the Skubal trade, fair or unfair, it doesn't matter. The expectation is a World Series, and anything short of that is an abject failure. Period. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's interesting. It is very interesting. When you're taking a look at this Dodger lineup, where are they going to get power? They haven't had it. The lineup is struggling. This is, again, worst case scenario for the Dodgers, where the guys who are struggling early continue to struggle, and then the guys who were hot and giving you unexpected production, they cool off, which is exactly what has happened.
Also just seems like every Dodger, or a lot of the Dodgers throughout the lineup, when you try to hit home runs, it doesn't really turn out, not that way, but it also... you don't really get on base, and you don't really at least have some ducks on the pond. The Dodgers haven't had that many big innings. It's been from 1 or 2 swings here and there.
Right.
And you go down the line.
A lot of solo shots. A lot of solo shots.
Tucker tonight. And you go ahead and look through the lineup. Shohei Ohtani trying to hit a home run and run into a ball every time he comes up. Did get a hit tonight, though. Andy Pages trying to hit a home run every time he comes up. He swings so hard, but he hasn't hit he's only hit 2 home runs since July 1st. Freddie Freeman is the only one who's really staying short to the baseball. Muncy trying to hit a bomb every time. Teoscar trying to hit a bomb every time. That's a lot of guys right there in your lineup.
Look, I know I said this yesterday, but it's worth mentioning again that this season could have been a disaster for the Dodgers. It truly, honestly could have been. And why do I say that? Because look at the money that they are throwing out there right now and tell me who is, again, coming through from a contract standpoint. Mookie Betts is their third highest paid player before Skubal, and obviously he has been flat out bad. Flat out, just straight up bad. Right? Edwin Diaz, high price closer, has been flat out bad. Teoscar Hernandez, he's been fine. Tanner Scott has been good, but we'll see what he's like in the setup role. Right? And so you just go down the list. Who's contributing? It's a problem when Eric Lauer is one of your top contributors. That's tough. That is very, very tough.
It's safe to say Tarek Skubal didn't get the Eric Lauer-esque run support tonight.
No, not at all. Not at all. So I don't know, man. I'm like I said, this is kind of sort of where the Dodgers are at right now. This is a worst case scenario. It really is. And by the way, we're also talking about a roster that is aging as well. Doesn't matter what the excuses are. There are no excuses. Dodgers got to go out there and win a title. Period.
The only silver lining, the good news only right now, at least during this 5-game losing streak, is that the Padres and D-backs are playing each other, and they are kind of beating up on each other. So there's really nothing you have to worry about.
Look,
as far
the division, Double P, it's out of reach.
It's out of it.
Right?
It's gone.
So, okay, so it's not so much that are the Dodgers going to make the playoffs, which is what a lot of like baseball teams have to go through, right? Like, okay, we got to make the playoffs, right? The Dodgers are in. The Dodgers, it would take a monumental collapse of epic proportions for them not to make the playoffs. That's not the question, and those aren't the expectations. The expectations are you've got to win a title now, and quite frankly, how comfortable are you with it? The Dodgers? They don't need home field advantage throughout, but golly, with this payroll and with this lineup and with this staff, I think that is the expectation. Is that listen, you want to be the number one seed. In the NL. I don't think that's not an out of bounds expectation. I mean, for much of this season, they were the best team in baseball, period. To say you should be the number one seed in the National League, I don't think that's an expectation that is out of bounds at all. If Milwaukee has the number one seed, to me, that gives them another advantage. And like I said, man, Philadelphia scares me. Obviously, Milwaukee scares me too. So we'll see. All right, we step away. When we come back, it is more of the James Coe Show. We're also taking your calls. 855-97-LA-FAN. Dodger fans, where are y'all at? How are you guys feeling? 5-game losing streak. Despite the addition of Tarek Skubal, where are the Dodger fans at? What's the level of worry right now, considering the older players are really, again, struggling here? We don't know what's going on with Kyle Tucker. Where is Kyle Tucker at? Hey, listen, if Kyle Tucker can play on the road, maybe this is better for the Dodgers. I don't know. Mookie Betts has been hitting 185 since July 1st, man. Woof. Dodger fans, where are you guys at? I'm sure the panic meter is low, but where's it at? What's the major concerns right now? 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. You're listening to the James Coe Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports.
2-2. And a strikeout. Sinker at 99 to get Crow Armstrong. And that's how he begins his time in a Dodger uniform.
There you go. That was Tarek Skubal, who was cruising through 5 innings, ran into a little bit of trouble there in the 6th, but again, that was courtesy of Sportsnet LA. Overall, the Dodgers lose 5-1. They did threaten, had 4 hits in today's ball game, but Chicago's bats, man, they were working. 9 hits today and 5 runs. And look, Skubal gave up a home run in the 3rd inning. But it was really that tricky 6th and 7th inning that got the Dodgers here in a little bit of trouble. But overall, a good game for Skubal and a good opening salvo for the ace. This staff, man, we talked about this yesterday, Double P. This staff is arguably the most complete staff in all of baseball. And what we did not spend enough time talking about was middle relief. But when you get into the postseason, a lot of these starters who, where is Sheehan going to be? What's Roki going to do? What's Robleski going to do? Because you only need 3 starters, right, going into the postseason. And so some of these guys are going to obviously have to work out of the pen. I don't know what that might look like. I just figure with Roki's, gas, I think he is the best fit, and we've obviously seen him come out the pen as well. But they're going to need some middle relief help, man, because the middle relief this year has been very up and down. At times they're dominant, and other times, like today, they just can't get outs. They can't get big outs. But at different times this year, they've also been dominant too. So, yeah, I don't know. I would point to the middle relief, Double P, and say, this is probably a problem area for the Dodgers.
The difference from last season, or the narrative from last season to this season, has completely changed because this season the Dodgers rotation has been incredible. 3.5 ERA for their starters. That's 4th best in baseball, only 2nd in the National League to Milwaukee. Last season, they only got 4.8 innings pitched from their starters on average. That was 28th in majors. This season, they averaged 5.5 innings pitched per start. But the bullpen this year has an ERA over 4, so just kind of middle of the pack bullpen. And obviously, middle of the pack for the Dodgers is not very helpful if you're trying to go win a World Series.
Yeah, and again, this is a team in the Dodgers that I'm telling you, if they did not get all this unexpected production, I don't care how bullish you were on Justin Robleski. I don't think anyone thought he was going to have the first half that he had, right? I mean, sub-3 ERA, all the wins piling up. I know some of the advanced metrics didn't look that great, but still, Robleski was incredibly impactful and effective. I mean, again, the Dodgers haven't lost with Eric Lauer taking the mound, right? What are they, 9-0? With Eric Lauer, crazy? Like he's the good luck charm that I've been calling him for a minute now?
And Robleski's got 11 wins. So it's 20 wins right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Robo and Eric Lauer.
Who would have ever expected that?
You were not planning on that.
No, not at all. They've gotten unexpected production from unexpected places. Unfortunately, right now, as we are turning the calendar into August, a lot of these guys, and to be expected, are cooling off, right? Like that's what you expect from guys who are rotational pieces, that are not frontline starters, that are not getting buku dollars. That's exactly what you would expect.
The biggest problem is that everyone's cooling off kind of at the same time. And when Freddie's going ahead and having his hit streak, that's incredible, and he's been sensational, heating up, getting his average over 300.
No one's driving him in.
No one's driving him in. And yeah, something tells me Freddie's not stealing 2nd and 3rd to go ahead and all you need is a base hit or just a little something
sack
to get
fly
him in.
or something. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you need a gapper to get Freddie in from first base after he hits his singles or even a double. So, I mean, going ahead and seeing everyone, 8 other guys in your lineup kind of cool off all at the same time, that's just tough. But that's just baseball. It's just happening all at once.
The problem, though, is, like I said, this is the time of the year where everyone assumed that the Dodgers payroll would start to shine, right? Like their high-priced players would start to shine. Mookie Betts would come around. Kyle Tucker would come around. Edwin Diaz would come around. And it just has not been the case. So I'm curious. I am curious. And by the way, I remember one of the first days I was here. This is the worst case scenario that I had lined out. Everyone was just celebrating the Dodgers like it was over. And while, look, I get it. They got a great team. Obviously, as I am saying, championship or bust. Anything other than a championship is a huge disappointment for the Dodgers. Straight up. But this is the worst case scenario where the guys, the veteran guys just have gotten too old and they're not good. And these surprise performers start to, cool off. And this is what you've got. You've got a team that since July 1st is 2 games under 500. Unacceptable. Unacceptable for this unit.
And now 3.
Now 3 games under 500. Goodness gracious.
That's some angel stuff right there. Well, not quite, actually.
Relax. Okay.
Yeah, let me calm down.
Relax, dude. It's not angel stuff. Not even remotely close, man. Not even remotely close. But no, I am positive. I'm confident, obviously, that the Dodgers will turn it around. But I am curious to see how they go about turning it around. That's what I'm curious to see. How are they going to? Who's going to step up? Shohei's hurt. Is he going to step up like he always does? Maybe he will. But who else? Who's going to step up for the Dodgers? That's the storyline that I am most fascinated by with right now. All right, more Dodger talk coming up next after the break. Yo! What is cracking, Los Angeles? James Coe here with you. As we start the 8 o'clock hour, remember we'll be here all the way until 10 o'clock. 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. All right, well, we've talked a lot about Tarek Skubal and the Dodgers. If you want to talk Dodgers after they've lost their 5th game in a row, their longest losing streak of the year, by all means, 855-97-LA-FAN. But now I'd like to shift to football, the top 3 stories in the NFL in Cover 3.
Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go. We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party.
It's time for the Cover 3.
All right, it's your top 3 NFL headlines. We bring in Double P from behind the glass. What's up, man?
What's going on, baby? Time for Cover 3. My man, Zay Flowers. I'm a big Raven guy, so...
Okay.
Yeah, I like my Zay Flowers. Pride of Boston College right there. Just got a 4-year, $140 million extension.
Holy.
Are you kidding me? For that little guy?
Holy hell.
Dude, how much money is that per foot of how tall he is? What's he, like 5'6", 5'7"? Oh, my goodness, that's a bag for a little guy, huh?
That is... Look, I'm happy for Zay Flowers, but holy ski mask team, Batman. This is literally
and I've always loved him. But when Brock Lesnar's music hit, I popped so hard. I'm like, this is awesome. And then he destroyed Kofi in 18 seconds.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Like, why am I? And afterwards, I'm like, why am I cheering it? But like, it's up in the hysteria because like this is a larger than life person. Just totally believable because we've seen him do it.
Yes.
In real life. So it was amazing. But yeah, he's never going to get the credit for being one of the greatest of all time, even though he should.
I wish he could have been booked better as like this menacing force, like kind of like how like Vader was back in the day, just a guy that was just intimidating. He just never got that heel push that he needed. I agree with you, man. I feel like if Brock had been pushed as this ultimate heel character, that he could have really leaned into that villainous attitude of his. And I do think too, listen, when you have Paul Heyman to start your career, it's great. I like it. I love it, just to start your career. But at some point, it felt like that kind of also limited his ability to cut a promo on a mic too. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a reason why Paul Heyman was cutting his promos.
Right.
Is because he needed the mouthpiece, know? And say what you will about John Cena, like that guy knows how to work a microphone. Like if he could cut a promo like CM Punk or somebody like that, for instance, or Edge or somebody like that, he would have been the greatest of The Rock.
Yes.
Like that's what, like The Rock never gave you the larger than life thing about like The Rock's going to kill somebody. But like The Rock was so good on the mic that it put him into a different stratosphere, and unfortunately for Brock, he's never going to be able to do that.
Yeah, there you go. It's the great Adam Rank. Adam, we appreciate the time. I know it's late for you, man. I'll let you go. You're the best, dude. I appreciate you, dude.
Oh, thank you so much, Peyton. Thank you for finding me too, and appreciate you guys.
There you go.
Let's go.
I can never get enough Adam Rank. You can find his work at NFL Network and all over the internet as well. He was my longtime tag team partner in the Danger Zone. But unfortunately, that tag team, like all great tag teams, got broken up as well. Anyways, I love Adam Rank, man. I can never get enough of him. But we got to step away. When we come back, it's more of the James Coe Show right here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports.
The games are happening.
Freeman is a home run. Struck him out. The 6th punch out for Sheen.
The Dodgers, just like that, have a man in scoring position.
Stories are moving.
The Dodgers turn it and win it.
The conversation is about to pop off. This is the James Coe Show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports.
Los Angeles, what's cracking? It's your boy James Coe. Last hour of the show. I don't know where it goes sometimes, man. I do not. I appreciate Adam Rank for jumping on. Very last minute get, by the way. He texted me mid-show and he's like, "Oh, I missed this. Sorry, bro." And I said, "Hey, man, it's not too late if you want to jump on and talk Brock Lesnar." And the one thing I know about Adam is he will never turn down an opportunity to talk pro wrestling, Angels baseball, or the Chicago Bears. If you guys are not familiar with his work, I am telling you, he is one of the most underappreciated, and he's got a huge following. Despite the fact that he's got a huge following, he is one of the most underappreciated football personalities in sports media. He truly is. He really, I cannot, and I know he's my friend, but I've told them this too. I truly, honestly believe he is one of the most underrated personalities in all of sports media. So, I don't know. Hey, listen, maybe his career will take another big bump now that NFL Network got absorbed by ESPN. And if it does, nobody deserves it better, man. This guy's been working in football for, I don't even know how long, 20 some odd years, more than 20 years, man. He's been a ghostwriter. He's been a super popular fantasy football writer. By the way, deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. If we're being honest, for the fantasy football stuff, he deserves to be in the Fantasy Football Hall of Fame, period. That's how prominent he has been for so long, man. Incredible run from Adam Rank, and I wish him nothing but the best. He truly, honestly, is the best. He is incredibly nice guy. By the way, way nicer than me too, you know? He's the guy that remembers everyone. Oh, you're a random PA that worked on the show for 7 seconds back in 2010. Oh, he'll remember you in a heartbeat, dude. Oh, you're the you're the backup camera op that's been on the show off and on for 3 months. Yep, he'll remember you, bro. I wish I was that guy. That's not me, dude. People who I know, legitimately know, if I see them on the street, I won't even recognize them. I'm that guy. They'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, James." I'm be like, "Who the hell are you, bro?" I was like, "Oh, that's right. I met you. We worked together for a long time 7 years ago. And I just don't remember you." And it's not because I'm trying to big time somebody. It's just I legitimately just don't remember, dude. I'm so bad at it, man. I feel so bad, dude. I feel so bad. Anyways, regardless, neither here nor there. Let's get to some baseball news here. Let's talk about the top 2 baseball news articles of the day in 643.
We'll be with you as soon as Leonard hits into a 6-4-3.
Ground ball to short. Vargas. Chavis. Smith. A huge 6-4-3
double play.
It's time for the 6-4-3.
All right, let's get it going. Double P, what do we got?
Yeah, let's waste no time. Let's get right to it and go right in Philadelphia. A couple of debuts today, starting with Luis Arias, who leads the National League with a .324 batting average, which, by the way, is 19 points higher than the Phillies' on-base percentage this season. How insane is that stat?
Wow.
Phillies on-base percentage, .305, 28th in the majors. Yeah, Arias batting average, .324. He had a couple of hits today and had himself an RBI, so let's go.
I mean, this is a player that we talked about before, but again, it's a low-key, really big brain, smart move by the Philadelphia Phillies because he just plays Ohtani so well. He plays Ohtani extremely well. And he's somebody that just uses up a lot of pitches. I'm sure this stat must exist somewhere, Double P, but I'd be curious to see of all the batters out there with like at least like, I don't know, 300 plate appearances or something, right? Like, how many pitches has this guy taken and forced out of starting and middle relief pitchers? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to see that stat because he will wear out a starter. I mean, he is legitimately a guy that can get out there and just eat up 10, 12 pitches in an at-bat. In a single at-bat, Luis Arraez is just putting out these little weak fielders. Yeah, listen, and like the funny thing is, it's never strong enough to put it in play, but he just fouls off everything. It's insane. He is such a pest at the dish. It's a great little under-the-radar pickup by Philadelphia for sure.
Definitely is. We go ahead and mention that Luis Arraez debut. You know who also made his debut today was George Lombard of the New York Yankees. And yeah, the Bronx Bombers got that guy now. This is a 21-year-old prospect, 20th best prospect in the game today. So too bad for Anthony Volpe, right, at shortstop. They gave up on him pretty quick in New York. Yankee fans were so fed up with him. They were very upset, especially once he was known for his glove. He started making a bunch of errors. Then they were just like, okay, that's enough of that. Let's bring up George Lombard. And he comes up and does this. Not in his first at-bat, but it's his first game at Yankee Stadium. Give the guy some slack. He did this tonight.
Lombard, the third youngest. Bobby Mercer and Derek Jeter, the only Yankees younger. The 0-2. Hit in the air. Wow. Deep left field. Torres back. George Lombard Jr. has entered the yard and left it.
How about that? How about getting your first hit, your first home run at Yankee Stadium in front of that crowd in New York? Unbelievable.
Dude, that's such a cool moment, man. That's an awesome moment. And by the way, this guy comes from like legit baseball lineage, right?
Yes.
Like his dad's the Tigers bench coach. His brother is a shortstop that was selected by the Miami Marlins in the first round of the 2026 MLB draft. And also, oh, by the way, I looked this up. This is interesting. His grandmother was a civil rights activist and a Martin Luther King Jr. associate.
Oh, my goodness.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can you imagine? Like, this guy just running around being like, yeah, my grandma, she was, like, cool with MLK and stuff, man. Like, that's pretty... Dude, that's cool, man.
That is awesome. And that is your double play. George Lombard of the Yanks, Arraez. Just a couple of debuts today, nothing crazy. But yeah, with the position players, they're starting to be thrown into these new lineups now. So we see the position player turn around pretty quick. Not as much for the starting pitching, obviously, just waiting for their days, of course. You know, we saw Gausman go to the Cubs. He hasn't thrown his yet. But yeah, pretty cool to see these new guys in their respected teams making their debuts.
Got a really cool comment from and a good question from the chat. Yeah, and this is from No Tan Lines Rob in regards to Mookie Betts. It's a great screen name, man. It's a great handle, dude. Do you think the Dodgers might trade Mookie Betts during the offseason? That is so interesting. And you know how it goes too. I'm sure the Dodgers will have to eat a lot of that salary if they do move on. I am not familiar enough with their farm system to know if they have. Do they have somebody else that can play shortstop? And actually, can they move somebody from the bench to go play shortstop and then rotate? Look, their top two prospects are outfielders. Right, in Josue, DePaula, and Mike Sirota, that these guys play in the outfield, right? So, like, is there somebody else that can play shortstop? Because if they had that, then I think they could make that move, especially if it clears a roster spot for them to then bring up one of these guys. Listen, Josue's got to get called up at some point here. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets called up this season. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But if he does, I wouldn't be surprised. And Mike Sirota is another player that I think a lot of Dodger fans would like to get to a little closer look at too. So, man, no tan lines, Rob. That's a great question.
Yeah, well, I mean, and just that question might be better than his screen name.
Maybe.
It might.
Maybe.
It might be.
No, it's a great question though. Would the Dodgers try to move on from Mookie Betts? Now, the only way, because he's got 6 years and about $150 million left on his contract.
Yes.
The only way another team would absorb that deal is, again, the Dodgers had to pick up a chunk of that salary, like a big chunk, Yeah. So, yeah, that's a great question, man. Look, the sports is a what have you done for me lately business. And, and again, he's on the wrong side of 30. He's got a ton of money left. And if the Dodgers want to get out of that deal, like I said, it can happen. I don't know how good it would go over with the fan base, but after this year, I think it might be fine. I think the fan base would be like, you know what, it sucks, but we get it,
If he didn't perform in the postseason, yes. Like if he continues this into the postseason in October, Dodgers go on and win it, but Mookie Betts didn't perform at all,
right?
And it became kind of a storyline-esque type of thing.
Yeah.
Then I would understand that, especially he's loved here. He really is.
No, that's the thing.
They
that's
love
the thing.
Mookie Betts. They like watching him bowl too.
Yes, he is a beloved figure now, and it's funny, right? Because the bulk of his career he actually played in Boston, right? And Boston and LA have a little bit of, convoluted history too, right? So it's interesting, but he has absolutely been accepted by the fans here in Los Angeles, and he's been a huge contributor for them too, So yeah, that's such an interesting question. And it's because he has endeared himself so well to the LA fan base that is a reason why I never even considered a Mookie Betts trade. But I think there's a lot to that, though.
Yeah, it's not. It sounds a lot crazier than it is. However, you go ahead and take a look at. You just mentioned the age and the pricing that Mookie has left in his deal.
Yeah, 6 years, like $150 million, man. It's a ton.
Yes, and it's like you're not gonna get what you want for Mookie Betts. You're just not gonna get that because he's on the wrong side of 30 and because of that much money. So if the return's not that good, then that also contributes to the fans' reaction and like, oh, this is what I got for Mookie Betts. I mean, why did we get this for Mookie?
Yeah.
And I think that's what would cause the fans or cause an outrage here in Los Angeles.
And it would be really interesting too because the contract is going to get worse as he ages, right? So this year it's already looking bad. Next year, potentially it could be even worse. I don't know how many years of like prime Mookie, not even prime, how many years of usable Mookie Betts seasons are left? 2? Next year and the year after? And then after that, it's highly unlikely that his game translates as he gets older. Like Freddie Freeman has aged his game gracefully, and he's gone from a power guy or possessing power to be much more like contact and let's get on base, let's set guys up, let's drive in runs. We're not going to drive it out of here, but again, I will, he's maintained a really good batting average and has obviously been a clutch contributor as well. For Mookie, I don't think he's got that in his game. Maybe he does, but it doesn't strike me as a guy that if the power goes completely away, can he adapt his game to be more of a contact hitter? I don't know.
Well, then you have to be fast too, and with age, you're naturally just going to get a couple steps slower, and you're not going to have that quick step that he usually has on the base pass. But Mookie Betts from 2018 to 2024 was an All-Star 8 out of 9 of those seasons, and now this will be the second of back-to-back years where he hasn't been an All-Star. So clearly trending in the wrong direction, and him just hitting 233 after tonight. I mean, that is really brutal and just a really big drop off. But how about it's really the on base percentage for me at Mookie hitting 280. 280. It's horrific numbers right there at 280 on base percentage for Mookie Betts.
And by the way, if you look at the trend from 2023 on, his RBIs, his home runs, his batting average, his on-base percentage, his slugging, his OPS, all of those have come down every single year. Every single year, all of those metrics have come down. In 2023, he had 39 home runs. Then it's 19, 20, and then 13 this year. I don't think he'll get to 20, right? And it's just, like I said, man, it's really interesting. And he has, I don't know. I don't think he's got the kind of game that ages well for the kind of player that he could be. I don't know.
I agree. That's the best way to put it right there. He's not a big guy who can run into one every now and then, to where if he does get older, it's okay because the power will still be there and he could go ahead and hit 30 homers and hit 200. He can't do that, and you can't be a 200 hitter hitting below 15 homers a year.
Yeah, it's not going to work. So it's a great question. And somebody would have to obviously agree to the trade, but then I think that the only way he gets moved is if the Dodgers absorb most of that contract money. So, because again, he's under contract for another 6 years, man. It's not like the NFL. It's not like they just cut him. That money's coming. One way or another, Mookie's getting that cash. Interesting thought. Okay, I tell you what, why don't we step away very quickly, and when we come back, you will find more of the James Koh Show right here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We welcome you back into the James Coe Show. All right, man. Earlier this evening, we got to sit down and talk with MLB writer and reporter Rowan Cavner from Fox Sports. This was our conversation. I am so excited to be reuniting with an old colleague of mine. He is a proud LSU alum. He is the former Dodgers editor of digital and print publications. He is somebody who was consistently on my Clippers radio show way back in the day. We welcome in for the first time to the James Coe Show, Rowan Cavner from Fox Sports. What's up, Rowan? How you doing?
What up, man? What up? Do we need to talk about Lob City or like Blake Griffin dunking or Chris Paul or anything? Or
not today, pal.
Are we over that now? Is that done? Okay.
It's done. It's done and over with, pal. Unfortunately, I do miss those media breaks though, where I got some PB&J, some ice cream from their ice cream machine. It was great. Rowan, who is an MLB writer for Fox Sports, you just recently wrote a power rankings column for Fox Sports. In this column, Rowan, who are some of the biggest movers in your opinion?
Yeah, I think, power rankings, we're doing them basically every week. So sometimes you don't see huge moves, but we kind of waited on this one for the trade deadline to come and go. That's, I think it's not just about what they did the last week in this case. It's the moves they made.
Right.
And I think, San Diego is a team that I'm interested in. AJ Preller, who runs their baseball ops, you can never really count him out of a move. He just can't sit still at the trade deadline, no matter what that farm system looks like. They added 2 big starting pitchers with Casey Mize and Robbie Ray, and that was an area of definite need for them. I mean, obviously, look, you get Tarek Skubal. You can't move the Dodgers from 1 to anywhere above 1, so they're staying where they are there. I think what Tampa Bay did was pretty interesting, and so they moved up a spot. And then, look, the Boston Red Sox are just the hottest team on earth right now. They've won 28 of 33. They're about to win 29 of 34, and they made the most, obviously the Skubal move is the biggest move of the deadline, but right behind it, 1B, I guess you could say, is the Adley Rutschman move, and they traded a ton from the farm to go get him under contract for another year after this, too. So they are betting big that he can be an impact bat for them, and they're going all in. They're trying to take advantage of this last month, and we'll see if it works.
Can I follow up with you there? Again, we got Rowan Cavner from Fox Sports talking MLB with us here tonight. I want to follow up on that Boston Red Sox part of it, right? So they gave up a huge haul. I mean, an absolutely massive haul for Adley Rutschman, who I know they had a need. They wanted to get some more production from, the catcher spot. That being said, it baffles the mind that Boston wouldn't get on the horn with Detroit and say, here's this entire package of players, give us Skubal. And again, maybe Detroit looks at their package and say, well, we still would prefer Zaire Hope more than your package, but I just have a hard time believing that. I don't know. What were your thoughts there?
That's interesting. I hadn't really heard a lot of people talking about that because I think the Red Sox need, we heard them so much kind of going into the deadline, was they're going to get one of these controllable shortstops. They're going to pay up big for a guy like Zach Neto from the Angels. They needed, middle infield help. They had a bunch of starters. I think they were pretty set there, which is why they got rid of Connolly early in that early deal for Curtis Mead. Mm-hmm. And then immediately Curtis Mead breaks his wrist, and that didn't work out so good. They have kind of crochet with this sort of nebulous timeline where if they get him back, they're kind of set there. That's interesting, though. I mean, sure, yeah. I think there's 30 teams in the league that would be interested in having Tarek Skubal. I think if you're a contender for sure. I think it tells you what they think of Adley Rutschman. I mean, it tells you 2 things, right? They feel pretty good about their rotation, and they really felt they needed an impact bat. And they are betting big, again, on a guy who the last couple years has really regressed. This year has bounced back in a big way, and they think can be a huge difference maker. They are betting on that. He has to be a guy that can carry them far. Otherwise, they're going to look back on that not feeling so good. I mean, and that's kind of the thing right now, and it's what's so disappointing from Baltimore side. If you're Baltimore fans, you've waited so long through this rebuild. You have a 100-win season. You have Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson and these guys who are your nucleus. It's supposed to be a change.
Right.
And you don't even win a playoff game with those guys, and you kind of give it up. So if you're judging who wins the trade, we could 100% look back on that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and look at Ianson, who's a huge arm,
right,
and say, well, for sure, Baltimore won that trade. But you got to kind of zoom out a second, and I think if you're an Orioles fan, you're just tired of waiting, and it's just more waiting now. So again, yeah, Boston's betting big that he makes a difference, and they got to make a huge run with him. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to justify.
You know what's funny? There are trades that sometimes, like I look at the Myles Garrett trade, right? And I say to myself, okay, well, both teams actually won this trade. It's a great deal for both teams. I look at the Baltimore-Boston trade, and I said, it feels like both teams lost somehow. like to your point, Baltimore should be making some kind of, like, they should have been buyers or something at this point, where, like, again, they had a young nucleus. You're thinking, okay, they should be on the come up. Nope, they're not. They blow it up and they start over. They lost. And then Boston, I'm like, good Lord almighty, how did y'all give up this many prospects for a catcher right now who is scuffling and injured? It felt like, to me, both teams kind of sort of failed there. Okay, can I ask you about the Skubal trade, though?
You can.
Look, everyone is weighing in. I wanted to get Rowan Kavner's thoughts here on the Skubal trade. And the thing that really just irked me, or that would irk me if I was a Tigers fan, is why make this deal on Saturday when you know and everyone knows, everyone who's ever been around any trade deadline of any sport knows, price goes up the closer it gets to the actual deadline. For Detroit to move on a Saturday, I don't know, man. It just felt like, again, and it proved itself as well. The haul is pretty lackluster, I think, is what the general consensus is around the baseball world. So I don't know, I want to get your thoughts. Why in the world do you think Detroit made this move on a Saturday instead of waiting till Monday?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. And Scott Harris, who runs the Tigers, was asked about it, and he, kind of scoffed at that and basically said it wouldn't have mattered, if it was Saturday or Monday, like that was the deal we wanted. And it sort of sounded like there wasn't a ton of back and forth of, here's what we're giving you. Yeah, let's go to this other team. Yeah, hey, they're going to do this. It sort of was like, here's kind of what we want. And when we get what we want, we're going to do that. I was surprised by it. I thought that would happen. I thought they'd be able to get more, whether it was from the Dodgers, getting a guy also off their big league roster. Like if you added Emmett Sheehan to that deal, I think you'd say, okay, I could maybe see that happening. The fact that the Dodgers did this without losing anyone from their big league roster, without losing either of their top two and arguably three outfield prospects, they're not going to feel this, really. I mean,
no.
River Ryan's kind of a big wild card in this because he has huge stuff. He could absolutely be a difference maker if he can stay healthy. He hasn't really pitched much at all in the last 3 years. He was coming off Tommy John. He's had hamstring injuries, issues this year. He's about to be 28 years old, which obviously is really old for a prospect. So that's kind of the big wild card in this. I mean, Zaire Hope, who is the outfielder that Detroit got, is a really good player. Could be a really good player for a long time. But I am surprised they weren't able to get more, whether it was from them, whether it was from, the Braves or the Brewers or the Rays or any of these contending teams that really could have used him a lot more than the Dodgers could have used him. The Dodgers entered this deadline with arguably the least needs they've ever had. And yet everyone, and you talked consensus, even talking to other teams, executives, everyone kind of expected the Dodgers to get him, that they managed to do it without giving up. With this being kind of the haul that Detroit got back, I was surprised by that. It's not a bad deal. It's just, to your point, if this was at 2:59 p.m., they're like, we got to deal Skubal, we got to get something, and this is what happened, I wouldn't be surprised. I was surprised on Saturday night that happened.
Right. I think you nailed it right there. It's like, hey, if that's the deal at the buzzer, then you get it. You're like, all right, nobody else stepped up. And they had to make a move, and this is the best deal that they got. And then you could even, and again, I think blame goes to all the other, the other 28 general managers.
100%.
But still,
100%. I think, look, I'm really surprised. I guess I'm not surprised because the Brewers don't ever do it, but that they didn't decide to push in right now. I mean, if not now, when? If getting swept out of the NLCS last year wasn't enough to say, hey, look, we need star power. There's no question. They've proven it. This is a great, sustainable operation capable of winning 90-plus 95 plus wins every year, getting first place in the division. But at some point, you got to be playing for October. And if last October didn't show you need to find more star power,
right.
I don't know what would. They were one of my big losers. The Braves were a big loser, not being able to get a starting pitcher. I think what the Rays did actually kind of in countering with that, they made some really good moves. But yeah, I mean, this is on the other 29 teams for letting this happen.
Yeah. Talk to me about a under the radar move that piqued your interest.
Interesting. I don't know how. First of all, I think Luke Weaver going to the Pirates. I think what the Pirates did. I'm surprised. You look at kind of like the Pythagorean, what they should be doing with that offense, with that rotation. I think that team's better than what they've played. They so clearly needed bullpen help, and they just completely fixed it. And to me, that's what the trade deadline's about. What do we need? How do we fix it? The Pirates clearly needed bullpen help. They got 4 good relievers. They got the best reliever available, I would say, in Luke Weaver. I think that Luke Weaver move could be really, really important, and I could see that maybe being the difference in them sneaking in to a postseason spot. I mentioned I like what Tampa did, and I didn't even have them in my winners, but I think the move to get Liam Hicks, there just weren't a lot of impact catchers outside of Adley Rutschman, obviously, that were able to move. They found a way to add him. He has been one of the better hitting catchers in the game, and that's a position that they really needed help up the middle, whether it was catcher, middle infield, center field. They needed some more offensive pop. To be able to get him, I think, was a really big move. I mean, the Cubs completely overhauled their pitching staff, so I guess it's not really underrated to say, getting Clay Holmes and Kevin Gossman is a big deal. But I will say, one arm they also got, and they paid up big for him, was a guy named Ryan Zefferjan, who was a Angels reliever.
Oh, yeah.
Who, if you just look at the underlying stuff, it's just filthy. And has some walks issues, but just in terms of the stuff to overhaul the pitching staff the way the Cubs did, I think was huge and really kind of makes them contenders again because they needed a lot of work.
Okay, final question for you, and we're talking to Rowan Cavner here from Fox Sports. Final question for you. Are the Dodgers ruining baseball?
I would say they are not ruining baseball, and I know it's just going to piss everybody off outside of Los Angeles because they're all going to say that that's the case. But this trade is just the perfect example of this, right? Because we knew if Skubal went to Milwaukee or Tampa Bay or one of those other teams that are kind of just more I wouldn't say surprising in contention because both of those teams are doing this every year, but a smaller market club, and he ended up being the difference in winning a World Series, everyone would then say, see, look, it's possible.
Exactly.
And now instead he goes to the Dodgers, and if they go and win, it says, this is unfair. To your point here, any team could have traded for this guy. The Brewers have arguably a better farm system, certainly the top prospects to be able to go do this if they want. Now, there is a financial element to this in that the Dodgers can lose some of these prospects that other teams can't afford to lose because they can pay for players that these other teams are not paying for. They could pay for these players, maybe not to the level of the Dodgers, obviously. But the fact is, those teams, the Brewers right now, have a chance to win a World Series. If you're not going to go do it right now, when are you going to do it? And they only have themselves to blame in this case if it doesn't happen. That was pretty bad, and I think the Braves probably should have looked at doing that too, and they didn't do it. So they have ways of improving their team. This is not a financial decision. This is a development decision, and instead of going in, they're probably going to watch the Dodgers win a third straight World Series time.
Yeah, to me, it's just so frustrating when you take a look at, and again, it's a loser mentality in my opinion. It's like, oh, Milwaukee can't afford Skubal in the offseason. Why not? Why not? That's why I don't get. Like, why not? Like, what?
I mean, sure, yes. All of these owners can definitely be spending more money than they're spending now. And
exactly.
I will listen to anybody who talks about the financial disparities being a problem. I can completely understand that. Obviously, I still think the fact that these owners are that there's under $100 million payrolls is still a bigger problem. But I can at least listen to that. In this case, to say that the Dodgers are ruining baseball because they got Tarek Skubal by giving away 3 prospects, I'm not buying that.
Listen, I'll just say this and I'll let you go. Milwaukee right now has committed $150 million to the payroll. Okay, let's say you give Skubal $35 million per for the next, 10 years, whatever. Obviously, he's not going to get a 10-year deal. Whatever. Like, let's just say you give him another $35 million for the next 5 years, okay? That $35 million would push them to 18th. 18th in payroll.
They just can't afford it.
They just can't afford it. What are we talking about out here? I don't get it. I don't understand. Anyways, it's the great Rowan Kavner. Great talking with you once again. Follow him. Again, he's an MLB writer for Fox Sports. Comes out with these power rankings, man. He's a great follow as well. So, Rowan, we appreciate the time, brother.
All right, good talking to you, man.
There you go. Rowan Kavner again for Fox Sports. We step away. When we come back, we close out the show, baby. We close it out. As we're taking you to the 10 o'clock hour, you're listening to The James Go Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. If I'm not mistaken, this is off his Austin CD.
Yes, it is.
It's one of my favorite songs of Post Malone.
Love it.
Oh my God, what is the song called?
Something Real.
Oh, that's it. Something Real. This is, for me, a top 3 Post Malone song.
Wow. I like that.
I love this song.
Yeah, it's great.
Do we need to do a top 3 post?
Just top 3 post songs?
Yes, top 3 post songs.
Wow.
What's your I'll give my 3.
Okay.
I think it's Congratulations.
Okay.
This is tough. I am going to say Chemical.
Número 2.
And I will say that one that we just played right there.
Something Real?
Something Real.
There you go.
I think those are my top 3. Although, okay, so those are my top 3, but then honestly, if I'm thinking about like the most played song, for whatever reason, I play 92 Explorer a lot.
Yeah.
Like
That's
a
what you said.
ridiculous amount.
92 Explorer is 1,000% on my top 3.
Número 3.
Okay.
I think I'm also gonna go with, oh man, there's so many good ones. I've played what's my off the Austin album Too Cool to Die. I think it has a really cool like vibe to it.
Okay.
That one's really good. It's got some guitar in there. What's one that it's so like, I really like Sugar Wraith.
Okay.
Which is at the bottom of Beer Bongs and Bentleys, number 18.
The number 18 track.
Yeah.
Generally, the number 18 track on an album is generally not the good one.
It's a grab bag. It's like, let's just throw it in there.
Yeah,
It's a good album.
Okay.
I want the album to be 18 songs, not 17. That's why they throw them in there. Like, and it's just that good, though. It's just that good.
I like it.
So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Why not?
Okay. Like, yeah, go check out this underground artist named Post Malone.
Yeah.
Maybe you've never heard
Go
of
look
him.
at this Post Malone guy. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. I think he's going to make it.
But no, if you open up Beer Bongs and Bentleys album, you just open up the album, you see the first, 8 songs in the title. How about you actually put your finger on the darn phone, guys, and scroll down to the bottom, and you can find those 15 to 18 songs at the bottom.
Oh, my gosh.
Sugar Wraith.
Sugar Wraith. All right, there it is.
So good.
I don't think I'm familiar with Sugar Wraith, so we'll have to play this one on the way out.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
All right.
See, but I mean, obviously, you need the lyrics, but we're not.
Well, you can't,
it's so good. It's so good.
You can't play the lyrics.
But yeah,
you can't do that. Okay. That being said, it's okay. Our guy Double P, who you're hearing here, scoured all 3 shows before mine, and he is going to give you the best takes from all over 97.1 The Fan in our segment called Takes of the Day.
It's time for Takes of the Day.
What do you think about Le GM?
I don't see it that way.
But I will say, that's how a lot of fans
The Dodgers need to shut him down from pitching for a month.
This is reckless behavior.
Lakers should move on. All right, Takes of the Day. Where are we going first, Double P?
Well, we're starting with the first show of the morning. Got to go in order, right? It's only right. It just feels right.
All right.
How about the fact that these guys are going to be in here in like 8 hours?
I know, it's crazy.
Or actually, they'll hear for. I know my boy Raj is in here, a couple hours before, so he'll be in here in like 6 hours. But 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. D Fish and Deck. We start with D Fish on, I don't know, maybe Klay Thompson coming to the Lakers, or maybe not. I don't know.
Lakers works now. I think you just have to pay attention to what happens with Klay. If he's traded elsewhere and then he reaches a contract buyout, then and even then, is that a fit?
Yeah.
Like, does it fit from a roster perspective with the contracts and the money that have been committed to Colin Sexton, to Quentin Grimes, to Austin Reeves, to Luka? There's not a lot of room in the backcourt.
Yeah.
In LA, so we'll have to see.
It's interesting. We were talking about that, or I was talking about that yesterday. Klay could potentially get bought out by the Dallas Mavericks. If he signs with LA, I would imagine it's going to be for the vet minimum. Because, again, he's absolutely on his last legs in regards to playing in the NBA. I think this is it. I don't think Klay Thompson plays in the NBA next year. Again, his three-point shot is still there. It's not as good as it once was. And to me, I think the major problem is that he is a completely one-dimensional player. At this point, he is a spot-up three-point shooter. He is somebody that can create off the dribble but not very well. And the biggest thing for me is at one point when Clay was at his superpowers, he was truly, honestly, Golden State's one of their best perimeter defenders, like point of attack defenders. He could lock you up a little bit. And that has just completely gone by the wayside, So his defensive rating numbers have declined, and dramatically so. So I would say last year he was a slightly below average defender. If we're just following the trends, that slide will continue. So he'll be a below average defender, a one-dimensional offensive player. But that being said, he's got championship experience, and he'd be playing, I would assume, for the vet minimum, right? And for that price, you're not going to get a player better than Klay Thompson. My only drawback to that would be if he ends up getting more playing time than you're expecting, what does that do to the development of Cameron Carr, who I also am really high on? And I think that if he could develop, he needs some playing time. So if he could develop, he could legitimately be a 3-and-D guy for the LA Lakers. So yeah, I'm mixed on it. I'm very mixed on it because for that price, you just can't get that kind of production and that championship experience. But at the same time, it could also hinder the growth of one of your young players, which is, again, I think should be one of the focal points of this Lakers season in this upcoming season.
Fit-wise, he's going to play next to Luka, and I think Klay Thompson, I will stand by this statement, the best standstill shooter on this planet is Klay Thompson. Both feet set doesn't have to move anywhere.
That's what I mean.
Luka passes them the ball. Oh my goodness, it would be beautiful. He doesn't have to do anything to play beside Luka. That would be pretty exciting. But, you never know. You never know. We'll see what happens there. All right, moving on to Brock and Alex. This is Alex referring to Tarek Skubal as a rental for the Dodgers.
They absolutely robbed the Tigers in this situation. The risk is that Tarek Skubal is going to be a free agent next season. So this could be a rental. So they are renting Skubal to make history. Yeah. The Dodgers are in the right now. We are uncertain with the baseball season, with the rules, if there's going to be a salary cap, what anything is going to look like next year. If we're even going to have a full season.
We're not going to have a full season. I doubt it. I mean, the way that the owners are moving, the greed that they are exhibiting, it's, like I said, this is about as corporate greed as you can get. This is, corporate hogs trying to feed themselves until they explode. This is billionaire crybabies wanting even more money, right? So, no, I think a lockout is coming. They've made it be known that a lockout is coming. They've done everything in terms of letting it be known.
Yeah.
The PR campaigns have been strong. Everything about it indicates that they will try to shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, this is what's crazy. The game is going in the exact right way. You've got different teams winning championships. If the Dodgers win, it's a three-peat. Yeah, I get it. It's a dynasty. Dynasties are great for sports.
Yes.
Dynasties are, let me say that again. Dynasties are great for sports. When it was the Lakers dynasty, it was great for the NBA. When it was the Bulls dynasty, it was great for the NBA. When it was Golden State, it was great for the NBA. Listen, in baseball, when it was the Evil Empire Yankees, that was great for the MLB. You go and you think about Tom Brady and the Patriots. That was, again, great for the NFL. The Cowboys in the 90s, the San Francisco Niners in the 90s. Like, what are we talking about here? Dynasties are awesome for sports, but that being said, people can scream about parity all they want. The results are in the pudding. What's funny to me is that without a salary cap, baseball actually has had the most parity over the past 20 some odd years of all professional sports. They've enjoyed the most variance in terms of champions over the past 25 years of all major U.S. sports. What are we talking about here? I don't understand. But these owners, they're so greedy. They're so greedy that they're going to shoot themselves in the foot, take the sport away from the fans, take away from the growth of the sport, just so that they could milk even more hundreds of millions of dollars out of the fans and the players. It's, like I said, it's corporate greed at its utmost.
It's unbelievable. But we're going to move on to D-Mac and Reiter here from 2 to 6 p.m. on 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. D-Mac, responding to Bill Reiter, once asked, hey, D-Mac, who's going to be your Game 7 starter? Because we did talk yesterday on this show, the Dodgers have 7 starters that they can go to in the postseason. Who's your Game 7 World Series starter? Let's see what D-Mac had to say.
You got one guy, Game 7. Who's your number one person on this starting rotation?
This year?
Yeah, no, I'm actually curious in 1993. Yeah, man.
I will say this. Look, I said last year, if the aliens came down, we were faced with mass extinction unless we had one pitcher go in a Game 7, it'd be Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But I will say this. Yamamoto already proved that he could slay that Game 7 dragon last year. And if the Dodgers have to slay another dragon, I want the bigger sword, and that is Tarek Skubal.
It's an interesting question because it's not a who is the better pitcher. It is who is the best big game pitcher. And for me, I would still stay with Yamamoto if Ohtani is compromised. I think that if Ohtani is not compromised, which, by the way, we're sitting here August and he's got a knee problem, I don't think that knee problem gets better, right? So I do think that he will be fighting through this knee injury for the rest of the postseason. And for that reason and that reason alone, give me Yoshi Yamamoto. Why? Because he has big game experience. Tarek Skubal absolutely does not.
Well, I like that because with D-Mac's response, he was answering it as if since Yoshi already did it, you don't want to go ahead and have him try to do it again. You'd rather have Tarek Skubal go ahead and be that guy for the Dodgers. So what do you think about that as maybe fading away from Yoshi, having not having him make him do it again a second year in a row?
The part that doesn't make sense to me is if somebody has shown you that they can do it, why would they not be able to do it again?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, that part I don't understand. It's almost as if D-Mac, being the crazy nice guy that he is, he wants to spread around the glory. Like the glory can be spread around. And for me, it's like, nah, man. Go to the guy that showed you that he can do it, and that's Yoshinobu. Like, give me Nobu, bro. Like, the guy has shown that he can do it. Why not do it again? Again, better pitcher. It's like I said originally. The best pitcher on this staff of aces is the ace of aces in Tarek Skubal. But Game 7 is just a different animal, man. It's just a different animal. And for that, I'd love to go to a guy who is also an ace, but has that experience as well. All right, there you go. That's the show. For Double P, I'm James Coe. We got to go. But remember, it is never, ever too late to chase your dreams.